Hi, you're listening to the Zen Business Podcast. My name is JC Glancy. I'm here with Shama Stepp, a customer success manager at Zen Business, and today we're talking about business formations. Shama, how are you doing today?
Fantastic. Great to see you.
Tell us a little bit about what you do at Zen Business and how you help our customers succeed.
I work directly with our fulfillment team. So basically, it's the beginning foundation of when somebody comes in and builds their business. So I do the filings, basically, your formation filings and amendments and so on and so forth.
What are some of the things that people, should keep top of mind when they're thinking about starting their first business?
Depends how large you want to go. I mean, that would be the first question. A lot of our clients are beginners, small business people. So, a lot of people want to look into those sole props or the limited liability companies, the LLCs.
What's the difference between those?
So a sole proprietorship is basically, it's a one owner field, which also an LLC can be a single owner entity. But a sole prop doesn't necessarily have that liability protection. So you're basically just pretty much registering yourself with the IRS, for tax purposes and, starting a small business for yourself. For example, like freelance writers,
right, tutors,
something that's not too intrusive.
What are some of the benefits of, forming an LLC versus a sole prop?
Your sole prop, you don't have any protection. So basically everything's going to go through your personal assets. Mm-hmm. If you decide to start a sole proprietorship and you wanted to also have a business name, you would do a DBA in that form, and you don't have protection on that name.
For those that don't know, what's a DBA?
It's a doing business as, and There's different names for it. There's a assumed name, foreign business name. Sorry, I kind of blinked on that for a minute. Right. And then some states do trade names, which are a tad different.
What are some of the things that you think about in terms of, the benefits of liability protection when it comes to an LLC versus a sole proprietorship?
So basically, when I think about it, with the sole prop, you're not protected. So everything's going to go through you personally if you a legal matter comes into play. If you do have that liability protection, everything's going to go through the entity name as opposed through your personal assets. So that's a big, huge distinction between the two.
Right. One of the things I always found fascinating about these legal entity structures was, how big of a benefit it is to be able to, not have to risk your entire life savings, pursuing your passion. What the maybe first next steps are after you form an LLC, let's say, that a small business owner can take to, further build a solid foundation for their business to help them, grow into the future?
The next step would definitely get that internal agreement with your members and your managers within your company, which is called the operating agreement for an LLC. So you want to outline basically the policies and rulings for everyone within the business, which that agreement would itemize and outline. Mm-hmm. And then you want to be able to avoid any kind of financial or management misunderstandings, which would be in writing on that document, which is needed. And then you want to also establish your policies. Say somebody dies, you want something in that, hopefully not, but you want something to say what would be the next steps for your business if sadly, if that happened. And you also want to add lawfulness to your LLC for any, all your third parties that.
Does it change, or is it just carved in stone?
It's not carved in stone. You can change it anytime. It is an internal document for your business. There are a few states that do require an operating agreement, depending on your business and what it does. But it can be changed at any time, and it is an agreement with everybody within the business, so it would have to be, signed off. And I know a lot of our clients even get an attorney involved.
Mm-hmm. To change it doesn't take an amendment, or in some states does it?
No. Now, say you have your operating agreement and you file it as an attachment or whatever with your formation with the state, and you change it. Amendment might come into play with that. Mm-hmm. It depends on what you want to do.
for those that don't know, what is an amendment and what does that do?
An amendment is, so when you first form your business, you're pretty much making it public record with the state. And the minimal requirements on your formation would be like your business name,
Right.
which nobody else can take if you form your business, say in California, and it's JC Glancy Audio LLC. That's your name. So if you want to change your name, something happens, or for whatever reasons, you can change your name. Also, a lot of the minimal requirements is, your business address, where you're located. Also, your members and managers, who are those people, and say, those titles change or you add somebody new. That's when an amendment would come into play.